Ladies and gentlemen, Sixer Nation, welcome in. Breaking news, Joel Embiid out again tonight against the New York Knicks. He has now missed a total of 26 out of 39 games. And, like I've said here on the last couple shows, last night on the live stream, on the post game, there's only so far you can take us before we break. There's only so far you can lead us down the tightrope before we fall. And I am broken. We are done. We are not fooled anymore. All right. This is canned. Over. It's done. Shut it down. This is just an absolute abomination of an organization that once had a lot of class and once had, regular procedures to follow and seemed like they were building up towards something. And when you think about everything that has gone into this season and where they're at, and where we thought they would be, they are the biggest embarrassment in the NBA right now. I mean, this is insane. And I said it on the postgame show last night. Watch them sit out again, right? Everybody thought, okay, they're resting against OKC. OKC's a juggernaut. They're not going to win. You know what the young guys showed last night? That they're willing to go out there and fight and play hard. And I question, why don't we see that from this team every night? Why don't we see that from the top dollar players, the guys making $50 million a year? And you know what, man, there's nothing left to say. There's nothing left to say. Obviously, we'll do the show and we'll continue the content. They're not going to break the channel, but what they have broken is the Sixers fans' spirit. Like, think about last night, the kids that got tickets on Christmas Day, or think about the people back in October that looked at these two games and said, man, we get to see Sixers, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey against SGA and Chet. Or maybe we want to see the Knicks matchup. This is going to be a great game. Let me drop $500 on these tickets. And they show up to watch Justin Edwards, Ricky Council, and Adem Bona, and Gershon Yabusele. Look, shout out to those guys. They showed heart, man. But this has gotten so out of hand. And if you thought Adam Silver wasn't going to step in again eventually, well, maybe he will. Maybe he will. I don't know. I don't care what Adam Silver does, just like he got Sam Hinkie out of here, which is one of the reasons we're even in this spot to begin with. But man, this is just insane. All right. Nick Nurse said Embiid was day-to-day with nothing major. When he was ruled out for the Suns game, Embiid had played in 4 out of 5 since suffering a left foot sprain. Keep in mind, the Sixers had won 10 out of 13. This was after they started 3-14. They looked like they were on the up and up, right? And then as soon as they start to build momentum, and they get a big win on Christmas Day, boom, pull the plug. Joel sits for rest. He gets hurt on Christmas by tripping over somebody during a warm-up, and now he has missed 6 games in a row. That is unbelievable. That is insane. I demand a press conference from Daryl Morey. All right, if you're going to leave us out to dry, tell us what the hell's going on, man. And based on where this team is at right now, to be quite honest with you, this is looking more and more like the Nets failed 3 big man iteration of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, right? The big 3 who played 16 games together for Brooklyn. How many games have Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey played? Like 4 from start to finish? This is embarrassing. How did we get here? It has been a long process of bad decisions after bad decisions, but you got your guy in free agency. This was supposed to be the year that you looked pretty formidable and would have a good regular season, and they can't even play together for more than 1 game at a time. And you know what's crazy? Like I've been saying, this is just the tip of the iceberg, man. This is what really scares me. Whoever made that decision to pay Joel Embiid, knowing that he was hurt, they said they consulted with like 9 doctors and still came to the decision to pay him an extension on top of what he already has. I mean, you have royally screwed this franchise for years to come. All right, 2025, 2026, he's still here. Paul George is still here. Look, I think when Joel Embiid's on the floor, he's a great player. But you can't continue to sell this to the fans. They've already mentally checked out this season. 2027 is when Paul George has a $57 million player option, and Caleb Martin has a $9.3 million player option. And Joel Embiid has a $69 million player option in 2028. That means for the next 3 seasons, if you can't get rid of these contracts, you're going to have to continue to try to move forward with this and sell hope when you can barely even upgrade the roster. This is so bad. At this point, I don't care who stays and goes. I really don't. I'm broken. I'm done. I'm checked out with the future of this team until they show us otherwise. I can't believe it's here, because even when they've had drama in the past, even when things have come up, they're still a first, second round team. They're still there. And when they get on the floor together, Joel, Maxey, PG, they look good. They look good. But they are now going down as the biggest what if ever. And I just have no confidence that they're going to restore it. And we'll talk about Nick Nurse in a second. Here's the Sixers' future draft capital, okay? They currently do not have a pick in 2025. However, it is a top 6 protected. So if the 76ers end up getting a top 6 pick, they will keep it this year in what looks like it's shaping up to be a generational draft class. If not, that pick will go to Oklahoma City, who currently has 15 first-round picks in the next 5 years. I proposed an idea last night. I said, hey, why don't the Sixers trade Gershon Yabusele in exchange for the Thunder taking their protection off the pick? Give us our first-rounder back. You have 15 in the next 5 years. Thunder have to win now before they pay all their young guys. Take Yabu, you know what I mean? And I don't want to trade Yabu, but based on where the Sixers are at, it doesn't sound like they're going to re-sign him. My thing is, if you can re-sign him, keep him here. But if not, you're going to have to trade and get value. So why not take the protection off the pick and move from there? All right. Here's a quote from Tim Bontemps of ESPN. I think the next 3 weeks going into February 6th trade deadline are really going to define not only the season, but potentially the offseason for the Sixers. If the next few weeks do not go well, and frankly, the way this whole season has looked, it's hard to expect it to, this is a team that we could see pivoting to looking to focus on trying to keep the top 6 protected first-round pick. Exactly. The tank is in full effect. It seems like they're going to try to keep that pick. They don't view this season as being contenders. Here's the injury report for tonight. I mean, who else is going to be out? Let's just sit the whole team. Can we forfeit a game instead of running these young guys out there and letting them get killed by New York? I mean, this is insane. I've never seen anything like this. It is an abomination, and I just don't know what to say anymore. And here's what Nick Nurse said last night. And a couple people have asked me about Nick Nurse and where he's at with this whole thing. And I understand you can be mad at Nick Nurse, and he's made some really bad decisions this year. And it surprises me knowing the type of guy he is. He's very sharp, man. He's very smart as a coach. Yes, there's things he does that we don't like here in Philly, but he's not a terrible coach. And listening to him more and more, it just sounds like he's mentally checked out all season long, right? Even coming into the year, I kept saying, how come Nick Nurse is the only one out here talking to the media? It doesn't even sound like he has the right information. And last night, in terms of Embiid, PG, Maxey all being out, he said, quote, you take a little bit of a gut punch and then you regroup and figure out the starting lineup. And he said, I can only play who's available. So it sounds like Nick Nurse is so checked out. A former champion head coach who, chose to come here. He took less money over other jobs like Milwaukee and other places to come here. And he could have never imagined having to deal with the stuff he is dealing with right now. So I think Nick Nurse is checked out. I want to hear from Daryl Morey. I've had enough of this man hiding as well. Where are you, Daryl? Usually you've done 2 radio hits at this point of the year. You're talking about the trade deadline. Like I said, are the Sixers going to be buyers or sellers? They should be sellers. They need to shut it down. It's not happening. Quit selling us false hope. It's done, man. I mean, this is sad. This is really sad, especially for the diehard fans that have season tickets, that buy these tickets and, are expecting to see their players play. There's nothing else to say, man. Joel Embiid, 13 games played. Paul George, 26 out of 39 played. Maxey, 31 out of 39. Obviously, Jared McCain lost for the year. It's time to get some answers, man. I just don't know if we'll get them. And like I said, you look at the upcoming schedule, the Sixers are in a world of trouble, man. Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Nuggets, Cavs, Bulls, Lakers, Kings, Nuggets, Celtics. This is going to put the nail in the coffin, and I can't believe we're here, but we are. It is time to hang it up. It is time to shut it down. Let the young guys run with it and see where it goes. But at this point, it is not turning around, ladies and gentlemen. That is the harsh truth. That is the harsh reality. I can't believe we're saying that, not even halfway into the season, but that's where we're at, man. And we all look like fools. So anyway, those are my thoughts. We will be live for Sixers and Knicks tonight. whatever iteration of the Sixers there are left. But that's where we're at, and expect more of the same until we see something different. Appreciate you all, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.